Welcome to Elite Entrepreneurs. I have Antonio Garcia here today. We did a joint venture, right? We did a joint venture deal. We both made $13,000 a piece. And today we're going to talk about that. And also we're going to talk about Antonio's journey and how he got started in real estate wholesaling. And your guest, Antonio, your host, Abdullah Ghaffar. If you don't already, make sure you follow us. My Instagram's iHustleBro in all platforms. What's your platform?
At rei.tony.
At rei.tony on all platforms. So make sure you guys follow that and like and subscribe to this channel, and we're going to give you more information like this. But let's get started.
Brother, again, thank you. Pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming out here, man. You came from Indiana.
Yes, sir. It's a little hour drive. Not that bad. Brother, yeah, we made $13,000 each. It was crazy. I wasn't even looking to make even $2,000 on the deal. My buyer backed out like last minute. After I was already signing with the seller. And, I'm glad I watched the Real Estate Disruptors podcast. This is where I saw you.
Awesome.
And I saw the whole podcast. I was like, this guy's from my hometown. Let me hit him up.
That's awesome.
And then next thing you know, filled out your form, and we're here now making 35 G's, splitting it. So
beautiful, man. I appreciate you even giving me the opportunity to help you sell the deal. But before you even sent me the deal at homerunnequity.com, you said you were trying to market the property for a few months.
Correct.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, so I was trying to market the property through Facebook. I also found some buyers on PropStream. I gathered all the buyers around the 5-mile radius. I hit them up, found like 3 buyers, got like 5 people to come to the property. I had 2 interested. Both of them like fell through. Like I mentioned, the last one like fell through last second. And yeah, man, it was a struggle trying to find one, especially in this market after everything started changing. As you know, in 2021, you could list anything on on Facebook and it will sell like hotcakes.
100%. Yeah, right now it's really difficult.
Yep.
But good thing we have our VIP buyers, right?
Yes.
So you gave us the deal, and within, I say 30 days, within a week, we got a buyer, and we closed within the 30-day mark, right?
Yes, sir.
And made, $13,000 a piece. So, what it comes down to is knowing your market and also building relationships with your cash buyers, right?
sir.
And novations is huge too. Novations selling to first-time home buyers as well. So if you guys don't know what a joint venture is, joint venture, or if you guys don't know what JV is, stands for joint venture, right? A joint venture is when 2 parties come together and do a deal together. That's what we did. Antonio brought the seller, I brought the buyer, and together we got the transaction completed and we both got paid. So that's what a JV is. And it was really good working with you, man.
Yeah, man, it was quick. It was smooth, bro. And yeah, any deals you get, send them over to my boy Ghaffar. You could DM him to me. We'll get it done.
Let's make it happen. How did you start wholesaling real estate?
Man, so
And when did you start wholesaling real estate?
I started wholesaling real estate. I saw an infomercial in June of 2018. Coincidentally, that infomercial at that same month, I started the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I was like 24 years old. Man, took action right away. That infomercial had a course from Dean Graziosi with a guy named, the guy teaching the course was Matt Larson, who was teaching the course. So I was learning from him. He was telling me put out bandit signs. I was putting out bandit signs. I was hitting up all the title companies in Northwest Indiana, making sure like I have everything set up so when the deal comes. Nothing came through the bandit signs. I had to put up like 200-300 bandit signs. Nothing came from it. One appointment did, but it didn't turn out nothing good. But what ended up happening, I ended up spending like $1,000 on list source, and I sent the RVM to this whole 1,000 list. I got a property in Crown Point, Indiana, from a lady named Rebecca. She had inherited property from her grandfather. I was very new. She texted me like, yeah, I want to sell this property for my grandfather. I'm tired of paying the taxes. I didn't know how to send a DocuSign or anything. I was freaking out. I was like filling out the contract. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna scan it to you, signed. Go ahead and sign it, scan it back to me, email it back to me. That's how we did the whole the signing of the signature. She didn't have the key or anything, and the neighbor did. I went over there. The neighbor's already giving me hassle. Like, who are you? Why are you trying to buy this house? I'm like, I just need to get in here, sir. I'm trying to do my due diligence. And next thing you know, the property had asbestos. Asbestos in the basement. She wanted like...
For the ones that don't know what asbestos is, tell them what it is.
It's just like a substance, like not really good to breathe. It has some... You can't breathe it. If it's in the property, it has to get taken care of professionally, and it costs like maybe 5,000-6,000 depending how much asbestos it's usually in the basement. But yeah, that's how much I
It's
know
like
about
mold.
it. Yeah,
It's like
it's like white
Yeah.
chalky
It's worse.
stuff.
It's worse than mold.
Yeah.
So
It's hard for construction people to work with, so they have to wear hazmat suits and all that stuff.
yeah.
As soon as I found that out, she wanted like 110,000 on the property. I told her what I found, and she didn't even know about it. And then I ended up locking up for 92, and sold it for $23,000 more.
Beautiful.
And that was my first deal.
You made $23,000 your first deal,
Yep.
and the lead was inherited properties.
Yep.
Inherited own.
From an RVM text message.
Wow.
I didn't even answer the call. I went to voicemail, and yeah, hit her back up and made 23,000 in like 2-3 weeks after
That's
sending
awesome.
everything.
So check out Inherited List. That's how Antonio made his first deal for $23,000.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Actually, it came from a high equity absentee owner list. Actually, that deal, and yeah, man, I just gathered all the buyers. I did like a, try to bid up the property, just to get them all there, and let them look at each other, and yeah, it was for somebody offered 5K, started going up and up. I just went with the highest one.
Oh, beautiful. That's what it is, man. Highest and best.
Highest and best. That's all you have to say.
That's what it is. And when you talk to a buyer and the buyer wants to give you an offer, you tell them, hey, give me your offer, right? But after the 72-hour period, I'm going to take the highest and best. So make sure your offer is pretty up there, Sometimes it has to be above asking to get that deal, right? If it's a really hot deal. So make sure you buyers run your comps, and if it's a really hot deal, and if you guys don't want to lose that deal, offer above asking.
Yep. And pay some closing costs and make it quick, make it easy and
make it
smooth.
quick and easy, cash money.
Yep.
So the buyer that bought that property, how much did he offer? What did he pay above asking? What kind of terms did he give you? What kind of incentives that made you want to go with that buyer rather than going with other buyers?
Yeah, so the other buyers were actually known. They were part of the RIA. I met those buyers at a RIA, and they were obviously lowballing me, knowing that I was new to the game. The other buyer came from Facebook Marketplace, and with a couple buyer. He just retired, sold his company, and I locked it up for $92,000, and I sold it to him for $23,000 more. Whatever, do the math, whatever that is, like 113, I think, to 114. After closing costs, he paid all the closing costs on his end, so that's what made me. The other buyers, the other seasoned investors, they wanted me to pay the closing costs and take a hit on that, but no, they took care of everything. That's why it made me go with them, because I was like, oh, this is smooth. I'm gonna make 23K
net profit.
Net profit.
How much did you spend on marketing to get that car, that lead?
So $500 for the list on list source, and like $500 to send the RVMs out.
So for $1,000, you made $23,000. That's a 23x return right there. So that's badass, man. That's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. So what advice do you have for people that are getting started in wholesaling and real estate? What would you say?
Man, fail forward, fail fast. Everything's out there. I thought I needed to find an easy button. I was going to so many mastermind events trying to find like the sauce. And honestly, the sauce is putting your head down and work and looking at what's out there, look at the information, and practically apply it as you can, apply as you go, and fail forward. Like that's the best advice I could give you.
Love it. That's really good advice. So going back to wholesaling, how long have you been in the industry?
Since I closed my first deal, which is November 2018. I started with a partner. Long story short, the partner didn't work out. We parted ways. Now I'm by myself. I have a whole company called Bless Offer. I have like 6 people behind me. Acquisitions, transaction coordinator, and a couple cold callers.
Are you guys hiring?
We are hiring right now, so if you're looking to get into sales, you want to know the game, you want to do deals, want to learn creative finance, I got trained by one of the best, in my opinion, Cash Money Mike. He goes on Instagram. Please give him a follow. He's really good at teaching. Cash Money Mike. He's really good at teaching creative finance. So
subject to.
He knows subject to. He doesn't like it, but he knows it very well.
Yeah. It makes money.
Yeah.
Why not, right?
Yes, sir.
No, that's awesome. For people that don't know what subject to is, you want to give them a breakdown?
Yeah, subject to, basically in the creative term, just simple. If it has a mortgage, it's going to always be subject to. If it doesn't have a mortgage, it's going to be always seller financing. Subject to, you're able to pay the seller's mortgage on their behalf. You're not taking over the mortgage, you're just paying it on their behalf, making sure that mortgage stays under their name intact, their credit secure. That's why they're allowing you to take it over, because they can't make the payments. Sometimes there's like maybe $3,000 in arrears. Come in as an investor, save their credit, and you just get left over with a good property with a low interest rate mortgage, and you could go ahead and rent it out, cash flow like $300-400 a month. And these are good deals to get into. They're just they're a little riskier when it comes to the due on sale clause. There's ways around it though, like you could put it on a trust. You already know this, like you put it on a trust. The bank guys, they only care about like just making sure that they get their money. The banks are not interested in real estate. That's not their game. They just want to make sure they get their money. So put it on a trust, put the seller as the owner of that trust, put yourself as beneficiary, start having the bank accept taking those payments from the trust, and that's how you would avoid that due on sale clause. A lot of people worry about that. It's on the subject to side.
Yeah, right now creative financing is so lucrative because the interest rate is at 6, 7, 8% all-time high.
Yep.
So you could go to a homeowner and tell them, hey, if you're looking to sell, I could take over your payments, and their payments their interest rate might be 3%, 4%. So you could just acquire their interest rate, make payments on their behalf, and acquire that property for an interest rate that's unbelievable, right? That you won't find in today's market.
That's correct.
So
I'm talking to a lot of sellers with 2-3% interest rates, paying like $400-500 a month, and these properties doubled in rent. They're paying these rents are like $1,200, $1,300, $1,500 a month. So imagine the cash flow that that they're sitting there.
Oh yeah. So I know a few of my buddies, they're making $1,000 per unit, right? Rather than making $300-400 with the lower interest rate, with the higher interest rate, they're making $1,000-1,500, and they're renting out the property for $2,500. I'll give you an example. One of my buddies, his mortgage was $1,000. He couldn't keep up with it, but on Section 8 they're paying $2,200, right, for a 4-bedroom. This is like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, he picked it up for a lower interest rate. So he's like making $1,200, and now he's upping the rent value because rents are going up.
Yes, sir.
So he's making close to like $1,500.
Yeah, these are very good lucrative deals if you know how to get into them, you know how to negotiate them, expectation with the seller is important too.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to sell something on subject to, making sure that there's communication with the homeowner and the new buyer. That's key, because you don't want to be held on the other buyer stops paying, and then you're like, hey, what happened, Abdul? Like, I thought you were going to pay this every month. You don't want that call.
Yeah, you need, because that could be very crucial.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to it. So yeah, expectations key. Letting the homeowner know, like, hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take over your payments. We're going to have you walk away free and clear, put money in your pocket. It could be $5,000, $10,000, or sometimes $0, right? Have them walk away free and clear. That way they don't, go to foreclosure and mess up their credit. You tell them, hey, why don't you guys walk away free and clear? Here's an extra few $1,000s to move everything out, and we'll take care of it from there. You take the property, maybe do some light rehab, paint, do some, light renovations, put a tenant in there, and start cash flowing. So that's a very lucrative deal to get. That's a lucrative way to get inside real estate with very low money.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And man, then the flip side on the seller financing, that's a whole different monster right there. That's an endless possibilities over there.
Let's talk about that. I actually did one right now. I'll give you an example. I picked up a flip in the in the medical district. I did a few, right? So I picked up, I'll talk about the recent one. I picked up a 3-unit in the medical district. The properties go for about $750, fully renovated.
Yeah.
I picked it up for $400.
Nice.
I put about $150, $150 into it. Now we're gonna sell it and make $200,000 profit. So.
And you picked it up on seller finance?
Yeah, seller finance.
Nice.
I gave him like $20K down, and I told him, hey, I'm just gonna make those monthly payments and fix up the property for you.
Okay.
So there was an eviction that was involved and stuff like that. We took care of everything. Even after that, it was still, it's a very lucrative deal.
Nice. $20K down, and he gave you like, did you ask for like a year of no payments or something to get the deal started? Or
Yeah.
what? Nice.
Yeah, we negotiated that. We're like, hey, before we even, because what I told him is like, hey, I'll pay off the whole note after I fix up the property, right? So, that's what we did. The money that I gave him, he was just making those monthly payments because he knew he was going to make a nice pool of money after we fix and flip it.
On the back end.
Exactly. So sometimes you got to tell that to the seller. Like, hey, I'll give you some money so you can make the mortgage payment, but I'll help you fix and flip this deal, and we can make a fatter check on the end, right? So that's what we did.
Partnering up with the seller.
Or tell them, hey, I can have everything cleared up right away, right? So that way, rather than making monthly payments, I could fix it, flip it, get you walking away free and clear. You know, so he's like, okay, I'm happy with walking away.
Nice.
You know, so
that's $200K rip right there.
Yeah, there's multiple ways to do it. You partner up with the seller, give the seller an opportunity to walk away free and clear. You could rent it out, still have him pay the note. It's multiple ways, you know, to do it. Do you have any examples of fix and flip?
I haven't done any fix and flip myself. Everything I've started wholesaling. I've been wholesaling ever since. I haven't started diving my feet into flipping. My whole family is in the trades. I want to get my GC license and get that part started in Northwest Indiana. I just haven't gotten around to it. I think it's a lot riskier, but once understanding the deal, right, how to lead generate,
100%.
it becomes easier in getting the other side going.
100%. So what are you doing for lead generation right now?
Right now we're just cold calling and PPC Facebook ads, that's all we're doing right now. We want to start doing some texting as well, but I know there's been some regulation with texting right now, but I heard it's also still the cheapest form of marketing plus cold calling. So.
Yeah. Now, I'm really big on cold calling. I use virtual assistants overseas. Some of you guys know I own the company akcallers.com. We're a virtual assistant company, cold calling center in Egypt, and we charge $5 an hour for one cold caller. If you get 2 or more callers, it's $4 an hour, and we guarantee you 2 warm leads every single day. And the metrics on cold calling, as you know, is every 30 warm leads that come in, it turns into a contract, right? So you guys do the math. Right, so more cold callers you have, the more leads that come in, and the more leads that come in, more conversions, right? The faster the conversion. So go to akcallers.com if you guys want to train cold caller by myself and by my coaches. And we actually have Antonio. He's going to start AK Callers as well. We were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah, brother. I'm definitely looking for a VA right now, so I'm definitely going to hit you guys up. See how they sound, see how they operate, and I'm definitely going to consider AK Callers as one of the companies to hire for sure.
For sure.
Because, my team's tired of cold calling.
Yeah.
They want to get straight to the offer.
Yeah. If you got tired of cold calling, let us do building the initial call, bring it in the warm lead so you guys could focus on closing the deal, which is building rapport, negotiating a price that makes sense for both parties, and getting it under contract. That's what you need to focus on. It's called acquisition. That's what everyone should be focusing on. Let the warm leads come in through a virtual assistant overseas for $4 or $5 an hour. You shouldn't be cold calling. Remember, cold calling is a tedious task, and that will burn you out. Like you said, Antonio, you guys are getting burnt out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, that task will burn you out. And if you guys don't know what VA stands for, it stands for virtual assistant. So you have a virtual assistant helping you with admin tasks, with cold calling, lead management, all types of stuff. So make sure you hit us up at akcallers.com. We're gonna put the website in the description below. And Antonio, it's a pleasure having you out here. And
hey, brother, thank you.
He's one of the elite entrepreneurs. Until then, make sure you like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.